we've had really good enthusiasm from other councils, particularly Newcastle, to what you've done up in Fife. What I want to get into today is a little bit about how you actually set that up. So for the other councils that are speaking to us, interested in doing the same thing, what do they need to do to go about it? And I think the first question I had was, how did you get the design done? To match the particular vehicles you've got.
Well, I worked with a local sign company in Fife. We were taking in some new Dennis Eagle vehicles. As part of the procurement process, they give a certain small percentage back to community wealth building. So what they said was, instead of them designing it, they would give us a donation, and we would use a local company to design it, which was great. So we sent them the dimensions of the vehicles, just on a rough a drawing to start with. Then we also took a vehicle down so they could see it. So they designed it and then made a mock-up electronically so you could see what the vehicle would look like. They sent to us for approval, and then once we'd approved it, then they went ahead and designed it properly and got the first one wrapped. And then from there, it's just kind of gathered pace, and it's gone from there. The good thing is, if any other authority was kind of looking at it, we already have the design. There's no need to redesign it. Now the one we got was for a Dennis Eagle vehicle with a slam door. I'm currently working on, we also have Mercedes Iconics for bus doors. So the same sign company is now working on modifying the design to fit the Mercedes cab with the bus door. So it'll be the same, roughly the same design, but it'll be
slightly different dimensions
they're slightly different. Well, we can only go so far up the bus doors, for example, for vision. But so the designs are all there. So I mean, people can still design their own. They can have it how they look. But if they like our one, the sign company can share that with them.
Cool. So you talked about approval. Now most councils have got some kind of branding and sort of advertising messages, usually on the body of the vehicle rather than on the cab. How did you go about in the council getting the council to agree to having their trucks wrapped? Was that an issue?
No. We do have a contract with one of the companies that do signages on the side of the vehicles. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who, but
you can say what you want.
We have a contract with Roadvert, so they sell the space on the side of our vehicles to companies. But because it's the front cab, which doesn't have any sort of branding on it, then I did speak to my own fleet manager who works alongside me, and he was perfectly comfortable with it as long as it didn't affect the usage of the vehicle, which it doesn't. So the sign off and getting the approval was no problem at all.
That's good to hear. We've just done the rollout of a single vehicle at Newcastle. I say we're on Newcastle Line. We've just rolled out their first wrapped vehicle, which we helped with the funding of it, and that's gone pretty well. How did you launch this? This, because you didn't just do one vehicle, did you? Did you start with 5?
We did. We started with 5. Once we got the first 3 done that were sponsored by Dennis Eagle, the trade unions kind of heard what we were doing, so they wanted to be involved as well. So initially it was GMB and Unison paid for a further vehicle each. As part of the design, you can see there's the hand on the side of the vehicle, which kind of goes up the side. There's the space in the middle of that. So we initially had supported by Fife Council. So the trade unions said, well, can we have it saying supported by Unison, supported by GMB, which we agreed to. So once we had the 5, Andy's Man Club actually sent their own videographer up, and we made a video, and it kind of showed not just the cabs, because we've been doing other work as well. So like we've got PPE where the kind of Andy's Man Club as well as other charities on it as well, advertising them. So they wanted to kind of see all the work that we'd been doing, so we made a video showing everything, and that got released on social media, etc. So it was really good. It was really kind of good to get that message out there, and we got so much positive feedback from it, because everyone can see it's like this sort of notion of just mobile advertising and refuse vehicles which go up and down every single street in your local authority. You cannot get better kind of vehicle for doing that on.
They're going everywhere, aren't they? And you can't miss them. They're big, and the graphics design that you've done is very striking. I mean, I'm just really pleased by how well it stands out. If you're driving past something that's coming out of a junction, if you're just walking along and you see it, you can't miss what it is and what the message is. I think you've had a lot of work alongside Andy's Mankler themselves, and you've got Kenny and people like that who are really involved. When we did the launch event with Litchfield, we got the local Andy's Mankler rep to come in and gave a presentation, and we laid on a burger van as well, which definitely helped to get the numbers up, I think. But it gave the whole thing some real momentum and a real sort of it was a real sort of marker that this was happening. So I think that works really well as getting it started. Something for the first vehicle as well.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. Our local rep Kenny that you mentioned, he has been in and spoken to the men 2 or 3 times. We've had a couple of road shows to start with, which Andy's Mankler were part of, but he's also come in and done just drop-in sessions as well. And then me and him have kind of built on that relationship, and that was where it was working together with him was kind of where I sort of got the idea for the wrapping the carbs, because he showed me a couple of photos of other things that he'd done. It's like there was a ScotRail train, and a local wholesaler had one of the vehicles, and it's like, right, let's just get this moving and see what we can do with refuse vehicles as well. So and then our relationship will take another step next week, because we're both taking part in the Aberdeen Kilt Walk next Sunday.
Yes,
we'll get a good chat hopefully on the way around the 18 miles of that.
We'll make sure your sponsorship plug is on this video as it goes. Hopefully we'll get you a ticket for that as well. So yeah, it's great to talk to you, and I think as this rolls out, we'll talk again, because it's not just a Fife thing now. You've set it going, and I know it's happening in Newcastle under Lyme, and there's other authorities that are already talking to both of us about wanting to do the same thing. So it's definitely helping spread the word.
No, definitely, and I've posted kind of various items on LinkedIn, etc. And I've always said alongside it, just get in touch. I'm more than happy to help anyone. And obviously we've worked together on stuff already, you and I, Tim. So we're both there to kind of help people as well. Anyone that wants to get involved, let's just get this nationwide.